Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much. All right. Yeah, thank you. Thank you also for the warm welcome and being here today. I'm Josh Lange, Dr. Josh. They call me at Crypto Mondays. I'm the host of Crypto Mondays Global. Was anybody here at Crypto Mondays on the 14th? Okay, several people were Crypto Mondays. And has anybody been at Crypto Mondays around the world? We have Crypto Mondays regular events in 32 cities around the world. We're the largest and oldest crypto meetups community in the world. And so we had great news that we've now kicked off post-pandemic, re-kicked off the community here in Malta with an amazing event in collaboration also with Crypto Hub Malta. Big fan of Crypto Hub Malta. Any fans of Crypto Hub Malta members in here? Yeah, I see you, great. So Ferris, Sabina, they've done a great job there, Eva. So I'm excited about sharing the love and communities. Today I'm going to talk about something a little bit more directed towards this specific community, because I interview people around the world, VIPs, top level people, and everything from DeFi, blockchain, DAOs, NFTs, cryptocurrencies for a long time now. But I want to talk about owning your assets. I'm going to give two examples today of the power of NFTs to help you with that, because the truth is that if you are investing in cryptocurrency, if you're using cryptocurrency on an exchange, there's a chance that your assets can be seized, that they can be taken from you, that they can be lost, and proof of ownership through an NFT, I think, is a very powerful concept. There's been a lot of talk. So I love Malta too, by the way. And you might ask, well, why do they call him an NFT professor? I was the first person to build a platform using NFTs in 2016 for education. I built a digital credential and scholarship platform. And then I was in Malta, and I built a university here as well. That's what I did for a profession. Built universities around the world. But then I've now transitioned full-time into Web3, because just like the young lady that was just on stage a few minutes ago, I believe that decentralization is going to take over centralization. So how can we have decentralized ownership of assets, right? And what does that mean? Well, let's take a look at first the FTX example. People have been talking about it. It's in the news. I wanted to touch on that. Did anybody have assets in custody of FTX and they still hold your assets? All right. I'm sure there's a few of you, you're not willing to admit it. Millions of people had their assets now on hold because FTX is filed for bankruptcy. You have issues related to creditors and debtors, and all of this with the crypto exchanges that you're going to see. But there was a group of people, and some people came to me and they said, Josh, I can't transfer my funds. I want to get it out before it falls completely down. Okay. They had that opportunity with FTX. They didn't come and talk to me for Luna, and a lot of people lost all their money. But some people did come to talk to me at FTX and say, how can we get our funds out? Because just like Binance did to me when America kicked them out, because I'm American, Binance refused to let me do any swaps. And so I couldn't do any token swaps or move any of that currency to different wallets, and it was a big wake-up call for me for self-custody. But now, that's what's happened with FTX. But it's not the case if you use NFTs. And so there were people that used NFTs to be able to withdraw their funds from FTX and not be subject to the huge issue. Same thing, it didn't happen with Mashinsky and Celsius, because they didn't have an NFT aspect of Celsius. But on FTX, they did have NFTs, but nobody used FTX for NFTs, right? But what you could do is you could create an NFT and then for $1, and then sell it for the amount of whatever you had in your FTX wallet and then actually literally sell it to yourself and then get those coins out of FTX. There were even people that took advantage of that as agents, as third-party agents with NFTs, and were able to sell people back their own assets for a small fee through an NFT. NFTs are crypto assets, so defined as crypto assets, which is anything that's a digital representation of value that can be stored and exchanged on a blockchain or cryptographically algorithmic in nature. When I started my patent on NFTs back in 2018, the only term that was used was math-based assets in the patents. So we've moved from math-based assets to crypto assets. But basically, that just allows, this broader definitions are just going to allow the governments or other people to basically take your assets if they want to, or if something goes down. NFTs, however, NFTs are excluded from a lot of the regulations. NFTs are hard to define. And I'll tell you what, NFTs are being used as a transfer of value, not only in the art world as we've seen, but also you're seeing fractionalized real estate, which is a great issue. And it empowers multiple people to own a piece of real estate. Another thing, and that might be exciting to some of you, but young people also are using NFTs to transfer value as a type of currency, a type of tax-free currency between themselves, because I don't know about you, but I mean, a US dollar looks nice with George Washington, but I'd rather trade with somebody who's like got this really creative dollar looking thing, which is an NFT, and that's worth X amount, and then I could trade them with something of my own. And people have been doing this with art for a long time, also storing value through that. So NFTs are a great way to store assets in ways that were never possible before. And then, of course, there's a transfer of ownership. And then what we've seen is the ability to define royalties and then long-term value if your NFT is then traded down the line. Now this, and for my second example, is transformative to a lot of people that we don't recognize, and it's called the creator economy. And I've been discussing things with people ranging from music artists to traditional artists and all types of creators, and it's to photographers, and it's enabling an entire new economy of asset ownership. I'll give you an example right here from Malta. I had a friend who's really good. He was really good at like making DJ music and like things like that. And he could never sell it or anything like that. He was trying to talk to Sony, but really good stuff, a lot better than the commercialized stuff we're hearing. And I said, well, and he was out of money because of the pandemic and things like that. I said, well, why don't you try and sell some of these as samples to other DJs as NFTs? And we did that, set it up, and now it's become a full-time thing for him. So he's actually doing his passion. How many people like to actually do their passion as their career? Yeah, I would too, and so do all these artists. But not only does he get the royalties or does he get the sale when he sells that, but he also has a royalties agreement. So if that DJ or whoever buys his sample, his music sample, then goes and sells it in the future, then he will get a cut of that. And that's removing these third parties, these third-party agents, and it's also empowering people like my friend to make a career out of that. Also, I was just at NFT London. I was one of the original people at NFT NYC. If you want to come out to New York in April and see me and a lot of other people, then come to NFT NYC. It's almost as good as Sigma, but not as good. And so there's all these cases with artists, the ability to get royalties, transfer of value. It avoids regulation. And so I would say that if you want to own your assets, get some NFTs. And as a matter of fact, somebody got one last night, a lot cheaper than its long-term value. And I'm about out of time, so I would just like to say thank you very much. And I also like to say thank you to the organizers of the event, to Ram, to Max, to Stella, Malta, to all the people that made this happen, Oliver. This was my first Sigma event, and I'm excited about MedTech as well because one of my doctoral students was Dr. Adrian Trevisan, and I'm excited to see how his company has been so successful. I love Malta. I love you all. Thank you very much. If you'd like to have a discussion with me, I'll be around. All right? Thanks. Have a good day.